guys, welcome to another episode of Braxus Photography Fun. Well, this is my first video that I'm shooting on my Fuji X-T4. We'll see if the video quality is a little bit better than what I've been using on my cell phone. Anyway, today I'm going to do a little bit of a fun test. I've got some really old Kodak Super XX film, and this stuff is dated July 1958. So I imagine it's fairly fogged. It's probably almost not usable from other films that I've seen like this before in the past. But I'm going to actually shoot this roll and try it, developing it just to see if I get any usable results from this. So this is just a fun little experiment. Super XX film was a fairly well-known film back in the day. It was really good for portrait work. It was also a fairly uniform film in that sense. It was a higher speed film for its day. This is rated at 200 ISO, I believe. Not sure what I should expose this particular roll at, being the age that it is, but I'm just going to shoot it at really low ISO and develop it in X-Tall, straight, or maybe even 1:1. And just see what kind of results I get from this. So let's try this roll and see exactly what we get. So I got the film loaded into one of my medium format cameras. I initially wanted to shoot it in my Pentax 6.7, but unfortunately the metal reel that the film was loaded onto didn't have the notch for my film camera to slide into. So the only camera I could figure out how to get the film into was my Yashica A camera. It didn't have the notches in the feed reel in the camera, so I was able to load it into that one. I noticed it was really stiff turning the wind knob on the camera, and it's probably been so curled up on that roll for so long that it's having a really difficult time traveling through the camera. So we may not get any usable results, but this is going to be a good test just to see if we can get anything out of I guess a 50, 60-year-old roll of film. started doing the shoot, everything was a success. Surprisingly, we got some pretty good results off the film. When I was shooting the film in my Yashica A, the film was so tight that it was really hard to turn the wind knob to advance to the next frame. So I knew that things were a little bit stiff inside. And got to the end of the roll. Basically, I shot the entire roll at 6:12 ISO. And on the Yashica A, being with an overcast, cloudy kind of day in the middle of December, that I was shooting at the slowest shutter speed, which was 1/25 of a second, and the lens was wide open at 3.5. So I basically shot every single picture on the film at the same speed and settings, so that made things a little bit easier. I brought my X-T4 camera with me to do some video and log everything as I was doing this. So anyway, I got it home. I loaded it into the dark tank, and I noticed that when I was taking the film off the reel, that the backing paper was sticking, and I was able to peel off some of the paper from the film, but in the middle section of the film was literally glued to the backing paper, so I was not able to remove it. So the only thing I could do was develop the film with the backing paper still on. I'm sure this is not unusual for a film of this age. We're talking about 63 to 64 years since it's been expired, and being that the film is that old, it's not unusual that defects like this would happen. Even when I was peeling it open from the container, the paper was in damaged condition, that kind of thing, so it really wasn't the best way to shoot a roll of film. But unfortunately, that's just the way things go with film of this age. So anyway, I developed the film. I developed it in X-Tel straight. The paper info sheet that came with the film said 15 minutes in D76 at normal agitation, and I decided to go 14 minutes in X-Tel. Being that it was shot at 6:12 ISO, I was expecting fairly dense negatives, and that's exactly what I ended up getting. When I finished doing the developer and the stop bath, I fixed the film for 6 minutes and then opened up the tank and basically peeled off the backing paper from the film. That was a really slow process doing that, but I was able to get most of it off the film itself. Some of it still stuck to it on the corners, but I wasn't too concerned with that. Once I got the paper off, I put it back in the tank and fixed it for another 6 minutes, so a total of 12 minutes of fixing. And then I rinsed it for 15 to 20 minutes in water. And hanging up to dry, I noticed that I actually got some decent images. There was some fog on the film, and the images were very, very dense. I almost probably should have shot it at maybe 25 ISO or thereabouts instead, or maybe it was just overdeveloped. It was one of the two, but either way I ended up with really dark, dense negatives. They made them really difficult to scan up. I had to put it on the Epson scanner, and another thing I was dealing with was film curl. The film curled quite badly when it dried, so I had to flatten it in between two heavy books for a period of time, and it eventually flattened enough so I could scan it. So when I did scan the film, I had to crank down the brightness all the way on the Epson settings, and the contrast down quite a bit, and I was able to see a usable image in the preview file. So I scanned it up at 2400 DPI, and when I had it in Photoshop, I cranked down the brightness even more and brought up the contrast back up, and then I hit auto levels just to fine-tune it a little bit more, and I actually got some halfway decent images off the roll. I was actually quite pleased with what I ended up with. The film's got a really lovely look to it. old-fashioned film, of course, and a very linear scale on, I'm sure, the MTF chart, and just really lovely looking film for a film of this age. I was really quite surprised at how well it turned out. Other people I've shown it to were quite surprised too. We're talking a 63 to 64 year old film, so not bad. If you do decide to try a roll of this yourself, it's probably better to use HC110 and a little Biazino, however that's pronounced, Biazitri, something like that, just to bring down the fog a little bit. So anyway, let's take a look at the scans and see what we ended up with. Well, I hope you enjoyed those scans off of Super XX dated 1958. And let's see what we can do in the future. I've got some more videos lined up for some color film. I'm just waiting for them to be coming back from the lab and scan them all up and get another video going for you. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and comment on my videos, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Until then.
Because too many people are wandering in the wilderness, because too many people are sitting in the valley of the shadow of death, we light candles. Emmanuel, Prince of Peace, love come down for you and me.
more peace, we need more joy, and we need more love. Okay, come on, gather around. Let's watch Julie Letton. Be careful. That's a candle. It's the Christ candle. That's the candle that says Jesus is the candle. Isn't that great?
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Мысли свои по множеству чести, извинения, некоторые горчиши, а возлюбленные родятся, встретятся за воскоре, слава Отцу.
Well, thank you for watching, and aye aye and goodbye. Eh?